The 2026 Spring Festival Gala reached its fourth program, and Unitree Robotics absolutely dominated the stage. When you saw that Unitree robot doing a drunken boxing routine on the gala stage, did you think, wow, the future is here, or wow, that's an expensive toy? Well, it turns out both are right. But here's the kicker. That 10-minute performance cost more than a Hollywood blockbuster, around 100 million renminbi. Why? Because it wasn't just a show, it was a $1.7 billion pitch to the entire world. Today, we're going behind the scenes of Unitree's 2026 Spring Festival Gala performance to reveal the billion-dollar logic hidden behind those backflips. First off, the show itself was actually insane. We saw over 20 bots sprinted, performed drunken boxing, and even executed consecutive single-leg backflips. But the moment that impressed everyone was the carp skip. A robot literally falls over, looking like a total glitch, and then boom, it kicks back onto its feet like a pro athlete. That's not a bug, that's pure motor control magic. To appreciate how far this tech has come, we only have to look back 12 months. If you remember 2025, Unitree had their Yongbot doing a slow, awkward handkerchief dance. It was cute, sure, but it felt like a science project. Fast forward just 12 months, and they're doing combat choreography at full speed. CEO Wang Xingxing didn't come to play this year. He put the entire company on the line for this 10-minute window. So, let's talk numbers. Analysts are pegging this appearance at roughly 100 million renminbi. That sounds like a lot for a TV slot, right? But think of it this way. The gala reaches billions people. To put the scale into perspective, the 2026 US Super Bowl reached a massive audience of 125.6 million viewers, making it one of the most watched shows in American history. Yet, that number is a drop in the ocean compared to the Spring Festival Gala, which officially clocked over 23 billion total media views this year. Meaning Unitree didn't just perform for a crowd, they performed for a global audience nearly 180 times larger than America's biggest sporting event. When you break it down, Unitree's 100 million renminbi, 14 million US dollars. Investment for a full 10-minute spotlight is an absolute bargain compared to the record-breaking $10 million brands just paid for a mere 30 seconds of Super Bowl airtime. For Unitree, this is a super roadshow. They're proving they can handle the pressure before they take the company public later this year. It's the ultimate flex for investors. And the best part? Unitree isn't just one of those cash burn startups. They've actually been profitable since 2020. They just hit a 1 billion yuan revenue milestone. That's about 140 million US dollars, and half of that is coming from outside China. They've already finished their IPO counseling, so keep an eye out. They're targeting a mid-2026 listing on the Shanghai Star Market. You're probably wondering who's backing this $1.7 billion unicorn. It's a literal who's who of Chinese tech. Meituan has an 8% stake, then you've got Tencent, Alibaba, and Sequoia China in the mix. When Unitree goes public, it's going to create what we call the Unitree concept, a massive wave that's going to lift every motor and sensor maker in their supply chain. Unitree's gala performance was a masterstroke in branding, but is it all clear skies from here? Not exactly. While their robots can do backflips on a stage, moving from a controlled gala stage to a messy, unpredictable home is a massive technical hurdle. China's got the supply chain, 100% domestic support, but there's still a brain gap. These robots are world-class performers, but to justify a $7 billion valuation, Unitree must prove they can do more than dance. They need to work. The truth is, Unitree isn't just fighting against technical hurdles. They're racing against a global rival with a completely different playbook. To understand if Unitree can actually win the home, we have to look at the great robot war currently unfolding between East and West. On one side, you have the United States, the undisputed king of the AI brain. Companies like Figure, backed by OpenAI and Tesla, leveraging their full self-driving chips, are focused on making robots that can reason. They want a robot that doesn't just follow a script, but understands the world as deeply as a human does. It's perfect first, ship later. On the other side, you have China, the king of the hardware body. The Chinese strategy is ship first, improve later. By leveraging the same massive supply chains that built your iPhone and your EV, firms like Unitree and Agibot have achieved something the US hasn't. Scale. In 2025, China accounted for roughly 90% of all global humanoid shipments. While American robots are mostly in high-end pilot programs, thousands of Chinese humanoids are already in the wild, working in car factories, patrolling power stations, and entering research labs. They are winning the data war simply by having more boots, or rather, actuators on the ground. But don't count the US out. If China has the body, the US still holds the keys to the mind. The high-end chips from NVIDIA and the foundational models from OpenAI are the secret sauce that Chinese firms are still fighting to replicate. It's a mirror of the EV market. Tesla defined the dream, but China built the reality for the masses. The question for 2026 isn't just who has the coolest robot. It's who can build a robot that is both smart enough to be useful and cheap enough to buy. Right now, China has the price, but the US has the potential. The race for the general-purpose future is officially a dead heat.